This is the BZ16 by Bezzera. So I'll be showing today how to adjust the steam pressure. Steam is used to do your latte or steaming of milk. Ideally, it is 0.8 to 1.2 bar. The lower the pressure, the smoother your milk will be. The higher the pressure, the rougher your milk will be. Ideally, I personally prefer it to be at roughly about 1 plus minus. By default, this machine comes at 1.2 bar. You should never set the machine, the steam pressure for the machine above 1.25. If you go below 0.8, you will have difficulty steaming your milk. Now, I'll show you how to adjust. First is you need to take off the top part to access the steam thermostat. So, you need a cup so that you can put all the parts, screws into the cup. Do not lose your screws and your parts. Next is always off your machine. If you do not off your machine, it's a bit dangerous. Next is you need a cloth, clean cloth, because the top is hot. So let's remove the tray first. And then open this up. You see 4 screws with an Allen key head. So you need either an Allen key screwdriver or an Allen key. So let's remove the 4 screws. One. Two. Three. 4. Okay, so once you remove the screws, remove the water container, it comes out like this. Put it aside. And then remove the top part. It is hot, so be careful. Okay, so let's move this slightly away, and this is how the inside looks like. So the first thing is you notice is that there is a screw here. So if you turn it anti-clockwise, it reduces the pressure. You turn it clockwise, it ups the pressure. So let's on the machine. Let's check what is the current pressure. Oh, it's blinking. What it means is that you must put the water container, otherwise you will not be able to test the pressure. So be careful, because the machine is hot, it's on, the boiler is boiling water, so be careful, it's hot. When it's boiling, you hear a boiling sound coming from the boiler. Now the boiling sound has stopped, means the pressure is more or less stable. So let's check the pressure. It is roughly 1.2 bar. So this I like to, let's say, reduce it to maybe 0.9 to 1 bar. So how do you reduce? Turn it anti-clockwise. Take a screwdriver, reduce it. Alright. So after you reduce, nothing happens. So you need to flush the steam slightly. Okay, when you flush the steam slightly, the boiler will kick in and it has stopped. So now the pressure is roughly 0.9 to 1 bar. Let's try that again. I can hear the boiler kicking in, boiling the water, and now it has stopped. So the pressure now is roughly 0.9 to 1 bar. So how the boiler works is this sets the maximum pressure. Means the maximum pressure is 1. It will stop at that. When the pressure drops to 0.05, means that if it's currently 1.00, if it drops to 0.95, the boiler will kick in and you push the pressure up. So you try to maintain the pressure roughly plus minus around there. So this is how you reduce the pressure from 1.2 to 1. Now, I would like to up the pressure from, let's say, 1 to 1.2. So this is what I do. Take a screwdriver, place inside, turn it clockwise. Okay, when you turn it clockwise, always flush to check. I can hear the boiler boiling water. Wait until the sound of boiling stops. Okay, the sound of boiling has stopped. Now the pressure has went up to 1.2. Let's double check again. Let's flush a little bit. So every time you flush, the boiler will kick in. Okay, now the boiler has stopped boiling and the pressure now is 1.2. So it's always good to double check. So I've shown you today how to reduce the pressure from 1.2 to 1 and how to up the pressure from 1 to 1.2. Now everything is done and I like to close back the machine. So let's turn it back to 1 because I want to set it to 1. Okay, I've set it to 1. Let's double check. Okay, I can hear the boiler kicking in and the boiler is stopped. Now, yes, drop to 1, which is what I wanted to do. So next is we're going to cover back the machine, and this is how you close back the machine. First off, take out the water container. Place back the top careful because the edges of this is very sharp. And then place back the water container. Screw back. I always like to place back the water container before I handle the screw, so if it drops into the container, not into the machine. If it drops in the machine, it's a pain trying to reach and remove the screws. Because the screws are alloy, so even if you have a magnet and all that, you won't stick to the magnet. All done. And this is how you set the steam pressure or adjust the steam pressure for your BZ system.
Goodbye and please subscribe. I making coffee. Goodbye and please subscribe. Goodbye and please subscribe.
Sekarang recording.